So big box retail stores, some of the ones that typically are kind of the go-to for people to do their holiday shopping, talking about Target, Macy's, Burlington, things like that. Typically, they release their intention to hire figures, right, for the holiday season. They publish that so people understand, hey, how many positions do they need to fill over the holiday season. Right now, so I'll share with you on CNBC today, these retailers are sitting back and they're reading the tea leaves. And they're taking all this data in. Of course, they have internal studies and data that they try to project what the retail sales numbers are going to look like over the holiday season. And what they're seeing is ominous signs. I'll share the story with you in a second. Before I jump into it, as I always humbly ask, please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed so we can keep growing, the community. So, you do see holiday stuff, Christmas stuff, Halloween stuff was out in June. Christmas stuff already out in, some of the local drugstores and such. But I read something that for some big retailers, like 25 or more % of their annual retail sales come from people shopping during the holiday season, right? So listen to this story out of CNBC today. Seasonal retail hiring is set to fall to its lowest level since 2009, signaling trouble for the holidays, a report says. Seasonal hiring in the retail industry is poised to fall to its lowest level since 2009 recession, otherwise known as the Great Financial Crisis. It's an early warning sign that the holiday shopping season could be softer than expected. Job placement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas said in a Wednesday report. We all know, especially if you're following this channel and what's going on with the economy, the consumers, especially those in the bottom 90%, are struggling big time still, okay? And some worse than they were a year ago. So this should probably come as no surprise, but when, you start having what the retailers are doing is they're holding back on giving their projections because they know that their intention is to hire thousands and thousands less than they did last year and the year before and the year before that. Challenger is projecting retailers may add under 500,000 positions in the final 3 months of 2025, marking the smallest seasonal gain in over 16 years and an 8% decline from the same period 1 year ago. Seasonal employers are facing a confluence of factors this year. Says tariffs loom, inflationary pressures linger, and many companies continue to rely on automation and permanent staff instead of large waves of seasonal hires, said Andy Challenger, Senior VP and Workplace Expert at Challenger Gray and Christmas. Don't forget, these are the same jobs that people that are having to maintain multiple part-time jobs lean on and rely on during the holidays to add that extra cash flow so they can pay their bills. These are the same jobs that college kids come home for their holiday breaks and take so they can have a few extra dollars, walking around money, later, beginning into next year, right? And some people even take the extra part-time work so they can pay off the debt they accumulate during the holiday. While we could see a late hiring push if holiday sales surprise to the upside, the cautious pace of, and here's the issue, the announcements by the retailers suggest so far that companies are not betting on a big seasonal surge. This year may be more about doing more with less. Challenger's projections come as fewer companies make seasonal hiring announcements. This time last year, it says retailers like Target, Macy's, Burlington stores, Aldi, and 1-800-Flowers had already announced the number of seasonal workers they plan to hire. But so far this season, none of those companies have disclosed the number of seasonal workers that they intend or to plan to hire as of yet. Okay, we're heading into, in a few days, into October. Last year, Target said it would hire 100,000 seasonal workers. This year, it said it's offering additional hours to its current employees and tapping into its on-demand team, a group of about 43,000 store employees who pick up shifts based on their schedules, right? So they're spreading this to existing employees, right? They're not hiring part-time workers. That's potentially 100,000, right, part-time or seasonal jobs just from Target that will not be added to, say the workplace, if you will. It's a bad way to put it, but you get what I'm saying, this holiday season. Muted response from the retail industry so far reflects the overall job market, which we talk about all the time on the show, which has slowed in recent months, contributing to the Federal Reserve's decision to cut the interest rates last week. We discuss all the time. The months before, usually in the months before the crucial holiday shopping season, many consumer companies, it says, that rely on seasonal workers release the number of employees they plan to hire, right? Which is an indicator of how strong the season is expected to be. Challenger's report is one of many indicators of economic weakness consumers have clocked in recent months amid fears that it says again, goes back to the trade war could damage the economy. Do you guys just weigh in on this? This is not an issue about Trump per se, pro-Trump, anti-Trump. But look, do you honestly think that consumers' fears about how Donald Trump's trade war could damage the economy is going to hold them back from spending at Target this year? Leave your thoughts on that. My comment would be, and my 2 cents would be, that's probably not at the forefront of their mind, right? Maybe the fact that they're simply not making enough to pay their bills, or they're coming up short every month, or they're struggling with other financial obligations that continue to go up, right? May not necessarily be tied to what the article is saying it's tied to. So in early September, listen to this, consulting firm PwC published a report that found that shoppers are planning to spend 5% less on holiday gifts, travel, and entertainment this year. The first notable drop since 2020. Alex Partners, another consulting firm, said it's forecasting an underwhelming 3 to 5% growth rate in holiday retail sales this year. So again, we are a consumer spending, debt-based economy. Retail sales is what drives GDP, especially during the holiday season months. It appears right now, based upon the hush-hush announcements or lack of announcements from these big retailers about holiday hiring, that it's not going to turn out to be anything but a complete disaster when the numbers roll in January and February. So with that being said, I'll leave it there today. If you guys enjoy the content, leave me a like, please, on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in comments. As always, I do read them. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.